Hello everyone, so today we are going to be talking about the history of Duel. So I have already done the haunted house. I'll put this video up here if you haven't seen it already. I did explain like the ride and the surrounding areas, the opening date and all that sort of thing. So we're basically just going on about Duel now, and next I will be doing Alton Manor, which is obviously what it is now. So when it comes to Duel, there isn't really a lot on the opening day, so I can't really go into that much, but like the ride and the build up and what actually you see outside, it's everything we will be covering in this video today, so watch to the end to find out more. Towards the end of 2002 season, a poster was placed outside the haunted house advertising the new name and opening date, along with the slogan, "Whatever you do, do not miss Duel, the haunted house strikes back," which is the full name of the ride. This was a re-theme of the haunted house and added guns for an interactive experience. This was due to the haunted house feeling a bit old and outdated. This technology would have been really advanced for the time. Duel opened on the 5th of August 2003. A new soundtrack was also added to the ride. So now we're going to get into the exterior of the ride. So instead of the coffin that stood when it was the haunted house, there instead stood a crypt. A raised coffin with a zombie coming out of it, shooting a gun with red LED lights. This also had a speaker on it that played noises from the gun shooting. Next to this was the Duel sign. It stood very tall next to it. But the problem with these new additions is that it covered up the facade, so you couldn't really see it when you were walking down to Gloomy Wood. So when entering the queue line, you are first greeted with this facade, which is an abandoned house. You walk down the queue line with noise of gun shooting and ominous music. You walk around the windy queue line with gravestones that have puns on them. You walk into the entrance and you are greeted with a musty smell and a big Victorian interior drawing room. You then go into a rolling pre-show area, which is dimly lit and slightly off centre to throw you off. This was actually later changed to be a straight queue line due to the accessibility of the ride, because before they did actually have to go through the shop, so they just changed it so it was easier to navigate through there. There's also a TV showing the backstory of the ride. There's also a doll's house, which is Emily Alton, which obviously is quite a big thing because that is Alton Manor, what the whole storyline is, which also came from the haunted house as well. The walls had moving paintings on. When you walk into the station, you are greeted by a car which looks like church pews. With green guns, they seat 4 people. Originally, this was 5 people due to them putting the guns on the ride. The cars constantly move, which makes it more ominous. You sit down into the car and an announcement comes. You enter through a red curtain with suspenseful music playing. With a large metal structure over your head with skulls on it. As you turn the corner, you are facing a door with walls around it, cracking and rumbling. This is where you see the first targets that you can shoot for points. After you turn the corner, you are greeted with a sculpture of a head. This was one of the new additions to the 2003 update. You then enter the grand hall with dining tables on both sides of the track, covered in cobwebs. In front of the 2 columns, with mirrors placed beside them, a demon appears with a green light shining on him. You then face a door and swing round to the right, and you are greeted by the demon again, but this time he is holding a rat and a knife in his hands, which used to be a cup of tea. You then turn left through an archway in an ominous room with torches flickering. Start turning into the trommel tunnel when a zombie comes out at you while you try and shoot it with the guns. The trommel tunnel spins and feels like it's going upside down. Sadly, this effect was turned off for a very long time, but they added UV effects to liven it up a bit. After coming out of it, you are faced with a very scary face that opens up. This was from the haunted house, but they moved it here and added targets to shoot inside. You then enter through an archway with bats spinning over your head with the targets on the walls. You then enter a room where zombies are breaking into the house through the windows. This is where the giant's lair was in the haunted house. You then swing around to another set of windows are broken, but no zombies are there, meaning that they are in the house with you. Suddenly you turn and you see a zombie in a smashed window and it screams at you, with a blue light flickering on it. Behind another archway, a zombie jumps out at you. You then swing to the left and are jumped by two zombies on either side, with columns of small spiders that act as targets. Behind is a massive spider flickering with a light on it. You then make a quick turn to the right and the room is covered in spiders. You then slowly turn left and you see a massive spider hissing and moving its head at you. Just as you get near, another zombie pops out at you. You slowly go under this giant spider while it watches you as you go under it. You then go through a door into a room with cobwebs and a skeleton holding a lever. A light that flashes and the skeleton pulls the lever. It sparks. You turn left faced with two open coffins. Then a witch crackles at you, and on the right you can see a broken toilet swamped in red lighting, with a skull on a stick to the left. You then swing to the left with screaming heads spinning over you, and the infamous noise. This piece of track is very windy. There is a stationary head that an LED flickers on, and then you are met with a demon. You turn left and you are in the garden scene. There is an ominous figure with red eyes to the left, as you are slowly going straight into a crashed hearse of an undertaker, beacon you into it while the souls are being freed. You turn slowly to the right where a zombie jumps out at you. In the distance there's a hooded figure standing in a structure looking down. As you get closer it changed into him looking at you with red eyes and an axe. He's the Grim Reaper with red flashing lights. You then go under a stone archway where you get jumped by something that looks like a broken column, but it turns to reveal it's a tall, skinny demon. You then go into the finale where the cars speed up to max through a door into a room of drums of toxic waste in them. You turn to the left and you are greeted with a zombie. A zombie in the window. Above the windows are zombies standing on a long gantry. Suddenly, a window slides open and there's another zombie standing there watching you. You turn and a zombie comes out of an oil drum. You then swing round to the left and the last jump scare is another zombie jumping out a window at you with red lights. You get off the ride through a long corridor, greeted by your ride photo, and the shop Spooks Are Us. For the 2008 and 2009 season, they used the ride in the scare lineup. The targets were turned off. The house was filled with live actors who jumped out at passing cars. The ride music was also changed to fit the theme. The outside section of queuing was used throughout the event, ensuring guests would walk around the dark queue line with grave diggers scaring guests. Rather than walking straight into the house itself, an actor that was either dressed up as a butler or a maid would welcome you into the house. This atmosphere brought back the nostalgia of the haunted house. Guns turned off. It turned back into what the ride should have been, a dark ride where all you are focusing on is the scenes around you and not how much you can get on the scores from shooting at targets. But this didn't work well. Due to them turning off some of the lights, there was a lack of things to look at and not a lot of actors in there, so it got mixed reviews. During the first year of Duel Alive, started at 3 PM, so before that Duel was operating normally with the targets. In 2009 they changed this to running all day and the experience was upgraded with more actors throughout the attraction. 2010 they decided to use the family-friendly Scarefest characters. It was called Skelvin's Haunted Adventure. This only ran for 1 year and nothing happened to Duel during Scarefest again. After many years of operation, Duel was feeling tired. They added new lighting, but that didn't work. It just lit up the wrong bits of the animatronics and showed the mechanisms. Many people were realising the ride just wasn't being looked after anymore. After 19 years of operation, Duel wasn't pulling in the crowds anymore, and they knew a change was needed. In the 2022 season, new signs were put up saying, "This is my house, 0609. Many people were speculating on what this could mean. Whose house is it? The 6th of September came and many people come to say goodbye to the ride and the fond memories that were made in the doors. We didn't know what the new ride would be. It could have been an entirely new ride system and building, replacing what stood as the old nostalgic haunted house. The doors closed the last time and the website was changed to say property repossessed. The next day, when walking into a closed gloomy wood, the doors were bolted shut with signs that said property repossessed. In 2023, the ride was revealed to be Alton Manor, a story-led dark ride that got rid of the guns. Best of all, it wasn't an IP that most people were worried about. This brought in a story about a little girl in the doll's house that was made iconic by the haunted house. This was a story about Emily Alton, a little girl whose parents vanished on New Year's Eve. This is exactly what the park needed. Did the existing building justice. It needed a complete overhaul and new sets of lighting and ideas. I will be doing a curse video as well after this one, so stay tuned for that. So just tell me down below if you've got any different memories of Duel. What high score did you get? I don't really remember the high scores. I wasn't really very good at the whole game part of it. I just sort of enjoyed the ride and just went like this and wasn't really engulfed by it at all. I wasn't really a big fan. Like, it was fun, but when you'd done it so many times, it was like, oh yeah. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.